Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Thursday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days. Hint, it's going to be mostly sunny and cold again for the next few days, and then we're going to take a look at the extended forecast where there are some interesting things showing up. So starting here with the satellite imagery, you can see some cloud cover here with our incoming system that's really not going to do very much at all, just going to be some cloudier conditions moving through. You can see that cloud cover moving into western Washington. You can see some low clouds around Tacoma and Olympia and along the Strait of Juan de Fuca there, and on some of the north coast. These clouds will move through today, and we should be mostly sunny again tomorrow. So let's take a look at our low temperatures overnight, again in the mid to upper 20s across most of the Puget Sound area, low 20s in outlying places, upper 20s there in Whatcom and Skagit counties, upper 20s to low 30s on the coast, and then low 20s, even a few low teens there in some of the southwest interior, including Olympia and Shelton, and then down the I-5 corridor toward Portland. So yesterday I set a high pressure record on my weather station. We reached a pressure of 1,041.2 millibars. If you have a barometer in your house, you can probably see that needle was pegged pretty far on the high pressure side there. However, our ridge is starting to weaken here, and we can see this a little bit better on this map there. You can see the high pressure over parts of Idaho and Utah, high-ish pressure over western Washington, but you can see the ridge is starting to weaken as this other ridge strengthens offshore. However, this ridge being offshore is going to keep us under its influence for the next few days, which is going to allow us to remain sunny and chilly all the way through Saturday and Sunday into Monday and Tuesday of next week. You can see just this pattern remaining very similar all the way through Sunday and then into Monday, and you can see that ridge finally starts to weaken by the time we get to Monday, and then by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we finally start to get some systems moving into part of the Gulf of Alaska there, and then toward the Pacific Northwest. Maybe by next Thursday, we could be getting a system. So let's take a look at that. So this is the European model. We're looking at precipitation type. You can see this weak system moving south across the area, maybe bringing some light showers to the northern Olympic Peninsula, light snow to the North Cascades. That ends by Friday morning. And then you can see we just stay dry all the way through this weekend. Cold as well, and then as we go through Tuesday and into Wednesday there, you can see a system offshore. This would bring us our first rain in a couple of weeks. This is next Thursday, so we're looking a week out here at this next system moving in, bringing some rain and mountain snow, and then there's potential for some more systems after that, but there's a lot of uncertainty in that extended forecast. However, it is somewhat consistent over the last few model runs that we will have systems moving into the area sometime later next week, so stay tuned. We'll talk more about that in the coming days. Meanwhile, let's take a look at temperatures. So this is today. You can see highs reaching the low to mid 40s again. Same thing on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And Monday we start to warm up a tad bit. Most areas reaching the mid 40s instead of the low 40s. Upper 40s on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then with that system coming in on Thursday, upper 40s as well. So let's take a look at low temperatures. It's going to get pretty cold again this weekend. You can see Friday morning there are lows in the low to mid 30s around Seattle and areas along the water, and in the upper 20s to low 30s for most of western Washington, except areas from Everett northward along I-5 that will likely be in the mid 20s. However, take a look at Saturday morning. You can see our lows getting colder again, reaching the mid to upper 20s around Seattle, mid 20s from Tacoma southward and from Everett northward, and some of the outlying locations there likely in the low 20s, maybe a few upper teens. You can see right at freezing there along the coast as well. Sunday morning will be even colder, mid-20s in Seattle, and points north and areas from Seattle southward could be in the low 20s. 23, 24 degrees definitely possible for Tacoma, maybe some teens for the outlying areas, low 20s as well, including from Olympia southward, and then the coast also in the upper 20s to low 30s. And then you can see on Monday, remaining on the chilly side, lows in the mid-20s from Tacoma south and the upper 20s to low 30s from Seattle northward there. Similar again there on Tuesday morning, starting to warm up a tad, but still around freezing for most of the area, and coldest from Tacoma southward there. And then by Wednesday morning, starting to warm up a little bit more, but still there around freezing. And then you can see by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're starting to get into the mid 30s there, so you're getting away from those below freezing temperatures. I want to take a look at this here. We're going to look at the extended forecast a little bit here. This is the European Model Ensemble. We're looking at total cloud cover here at SeaTac Airport. You can see the high clouds moving through the area today. And we got good agreement on those clouds moving through into early Friday. And then we stay sunny basically from Friday midday there all the way through Wednesday of next week. So just going to be a really nice few days. Obviously quite cold, but it will be pretty nice. So enjoy that sun while we have it, because we may not have all that much for the rest of January into February. We'll see. Now I wanted to take a look at rainfall. So you can see very good agreement here on the European Model Ensemble that there is no rain at all until maybe the last couple days of January. You can see there's some decent agreement in rain returning around the 30th to the 31st into the beginning of February there. However, you can see no rain until then, so we've still got another week plus to go here without rain. And you can see a similar thing here looking at 24-hour snow totals at Snoqualmie Pass. Very low likelihood of any snow at all through the end of January there until maybe the last couple days when we start to pick up some signals here for some heavier snowfall, although that is still, you can see there's still a lot of variance amongst the ensembles there, at which, if we're going to have heavy snow or light snow, you can see that there are a couple of ensemble members showing a dusting of snow tonight into tomorrow at Snoqualmie Pass, but that is unlikely. However, when we're looking at that extended pattern, this is something that's starting to show up in these outlooks from the Climate Prediction Center. This is from January 30th to February 5th, so kind of going in that time frame where I was talking about those systems moving in. You can see they're showing a potential for below average temperatures, and then a decent signal for western Washington there with above average precipitation. This is not something we've seen, obviously, in the last few weeks, and now this is starting to shift and showing above average precipitation, which would indicate a return of systems into western Washington there. So, as you can see, we've got a few days, just over a week to go before we may have some systems moving in. Going to be cold and sunny, lows in the 20s for most of the region. So, in that time, be sure to subscribe here to Western Washington Weather, like the videos, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And be sure to follow me on Blue Sky, join our Facebook group here, and follow me on Twitter or X as well. So, thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.